Welcome to a very special episode of After Dark with Johnny Ray. Weekdays, I'm the host of this show, Johnny Ray. I'm going to show you ways to make some spooky, fun treat bags and gifts for friends and kids alike. Let's get down to business. Good to see friends joining from all around the globe. If you're watching this later, don't worry. I'm just saying hello to anyone who might be here live. Good to see you. Now, let me show you a trick I love to do. It's very inexpensive and simple. Look at this clever little bag. It looks like a little monster, doesn't it? I love it. Now, what you're gonna do is just grab yourself a nice little simple paper bag like this and go ahead and fold it over one time. Give it a little fold, nice and simple. And then if you like, go ahead and pick out where you wanna put your eyes. I'm gonna make these eyes round this time. So let's go ahead and just make a half circle. Just like that. Now you've got some confetti. Let's try that one more time. Love making a little something fun and interesting. You know, even making a little gift or a little gift bag, a little extra special, is always going to create a memory, and that's what we're trying to do. Now look, you've got your eyes. How fun is that? Now fold down just a little bit more, and let's make an interesting nose. Go ahead and make this little triangle. Let's give that a shot. You can experiment and try all sorts of things. Now you're ready. It's kind of ghostly, isn't it? Now let's go ahead and throw just a little bit of candy in here. What do we got here? I've got some couple of Sour Patch Kids. Yes, throw those in there. Straighten that up. And you don't even have to cinch it, but if you like, you could staple it shut, tape it shut, or even do a little cinch like this. Ooh, spooky. Then, what I'd like to do is show you some of the things I love to tie them up with. Let's take a peek here. I love using all sorts of very, very simple things. You could add little eyeballs. Use just a simple sateen twine. If you're upscale feeling, go ahead and use something leather or vegan leather, or eyelash twine is great. And then of course, waxed twine is one of my favorite things. But let me show you one of the things to detail your twine with. Go ahead and grab the end of the twine. If you've got a little extra, go ahead and grab about 1.5 inches here and fold it over and hold it. Then go ahead and take it and make a nice round circle and give it a little knot. And pull it nice and tight. And the next thing you know, you've got this beautiful, knotted, perfection little looking end. How fantastic is that? I just love making something look a little extra special and making it, a little bit detailed. So let's move these things right out of the way. And let's get on to the next thing. Now, if you're feeling really exquisite, you could go ahead and decorate the bag with some interesting extras. You could always, maybe we want to take a look at these little spooky guys here in the picture. Add yourself some wonderful little vintage mirrors. I got these in Mexico, or maybe even some wonderful fresh herbs. I love taking, just anything very simple, adding a little something extra. In fact, let's just go ahead and grab the whole kit and caboodle and bring it all up here for you to take a look at, and I'll just go down the list of things I love to use. Now, treat baskets and little popcorn buckets are always a great idea. Wanting to tie something up, I think, is always an interesting debacle, and I just love to use interesting but also affordable things. And so I love using embroidery thread. What a deal. I mean, look, think of all the gifts you could wrap with this one little piece of embroidery thread. Now, of course, always keep those extra sticks on hand, because some of the funnest things I think to do are just to add a little extra whimsy to a gift like that. And of course, grab yourself something fun like this, these stylized little napkins with little skulls on them. And you can easily take a little bit of candy. Let's say these old-fashioned Zots. I'm gonna lay these right inside there and give it a nice tuck. Give it a cinch here. Grab yourself, something simple like this. How about this kitchen twine? I love it. Now tie yourself a nice little ribbon around this. Right before you're done, why don't you add a little piece of fresh herb? How cute is that? Now look, we're really just trying to make something fun, and the other things I love to use is, I love using a little bit of corn husk and writing a name right on there, just like little Miss Molly's name. And then of course, sometimes it's even fun to grab something vintage. I love using old-fashioned placards to write a little note on, or even some wonderful doilies to add a little zest to the gift. These little things do not want to stay in their container. Let's go ahead and put them in here. And then lastly, I want to show you, I love writing someone's name on a little wooden tag. You can get these at the craft store. I think it's a great idea. Great, great, great. And you know what? It's not that expensive. Now, this is all a little too underwhelming for you, why don't you try a little something more exciting and use yourself some vintage napkins. Now, you can always use regular napkins. They don't have to be vintage, but I just love the look of this tulle, a toile, if you call it. And of course, you could always go to a craft or a fabric store and ask them if they've got anything interesting in the back that's left over from spring. Sometimes things like this that come in a black or white theme will always look good, especially during spooky times. Now, I think the only other thing I wanted to say to you is sometimes you could think outside the box and make something really interesting. I took these little cedar chips and made tiny little graves out of them. And I can pop that into my little gift bag, and the next thing you know, my friend is feeling super spooky. Now, I want to thank you for joining me Monday through Friday right here on After Dark with Johnny Ray weekdays, and that's at noon on the West Coast, 3 p.m. on the East Coast. And of course, Friday nights, After Dark with Johnny Ray. Anything can happen after dark Friday nights with good golly Miss Molly, my rescue dog. She'll be here Friday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. And of course, I'll be here. She'll be eating all my treats, of course. And then of course, I'll be here with laughs, crafts, and snacks. I can't wait to see you then. Here, let me show you one more little thing I'm going to make. I'm going to take a pipe cleaner, and I'm just going to cut it off using the crick of my scissors right here, not to mess up my scissor too much. Give it a nice little cut. And I'll twist this up here at the end, minding to pull that together so no one gets hurt, and doing the same thing on this end. How spooky and fun is this? Now look, even if a little thing's hanging off the side there, it's kind of spooky and fun. I kind of like it. Look at this clever little ghoulish gift that you've got to give. Pull a little stretch here on the end, and you're all set to go. I can't wait to see you next time right here. Be kind to yourselves for sure, and don't forget to be kind to others. And if you aren't and you make a mistake, why don't you do your best to make amends and move forward and be happy? And lastly, I want to always remind you to be kind to animals. You know, all the shelters in my area are packed and full to capacity, and what that means is that all the animals don't have a home. And so you need to help me out, and definitely spay and neuter all those pets, and remember to adopt, don't shop. Oh, you know, lastly, you can make your own treats. I love these meltable chocolates that you can get at any craft store. I got these at Joann. Look at this lovely, lovely color. We'll be dipping some chocolates next week. I can't wait to see you for that. Monday through Friday at noon on the West Coast, 3 p.m. on the East Coast, and of course, whoa, After Dark with Johnny Ray Friday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. I can't wait to see you next time. Be kind to yourselves, and I'll see you again. Cheers.